what age of your life, because a lot of people watching right now have kids who are coming up in your way, who are coming up in your generation, or not coming in your generation, but are coming up to that time frame to start looking for scholarships. At what age or what grade would you say, sophomore year, junior year, senior year, freshman year maybe, I don't know. At what grade did you say, you know what, it's time for me to get intentional and start looking for scholarships?
I started relatively late in the game, during my senior year of high school. Before then, I didn't really even know what scholarships were. I wasn't thinking about higher education or college. But once the summer before my senior year hit, I was kind of like, wow, like this is a lot to bear the brunt of all at once. Like I had to do my standardized testing. Now people are asking me what school I want to go to, what major I want to pursue, what I envision my career path being. And I was just kind of overwhelmed. So once I started looking into it a little bit more, I was like, whoa, like there's a big price tag that comes with going to college. I never really thought about all the intricacies of that before then. So during my senior year of high school, I was like, okay, boom, we got to hit the ground running. We got to make something stick. So it was a lot in a short amount of time, but thankfully it worked out because I was really diligent and disciplined throughout my journey.
Yo, what's going on, fam? Are you ready to make a big career move here by the end of this year? Why not pivot into the flourishing tech industry with the Bethl School of Technology, recognized globally as the sole Christian online tech bootcamp? You see, with African Americans constituting a mere 7.9% of the U.S. tech workforce, I believe it's time to narrow this display and unlock opportunities for everyone in this thriving sector. Bethl Tech is steadfast in its mission to make tech careers accessible, rewarding, and economically advantageous for all individuals. Their comprehensive 9-month program is designed to equip you with the necessary skills to propel you into your technology career and move forward at a high speed. You see, recent reports from Indeed suggest that software developers in the U.S. command an average annual salary of approximately about $103,000. This is well above the national average of $48,000. You see, diversify your tech education by choosing from their specialized programs like cybersecurity and UI/UX design. With Bethl Tech, you're not just kickstarting a career, you're igniting a passion with a purpose. I want you to say goodbye to the prospects of crippling student loan debts and instead invest a mere 9 months to transform your next decade of your professional journey. Step into your potential with Bethl Tech and turn your career aspirations into reality. To begin, I want you to go to anthonyoneal.com/Bethl or click the link in today's show notes. Again, that is anthonyoneal.com/Bethl. Don't wait another moment to take the first step towards a bright and promising future into a career space that can make you a millionaire. Speaking of millionaires, let's get back to today's show. For real? Okay, cool. So, do you remember the first scholarship you applied for?
The first one I applied for, honestly, the first scholarship I applied for was probably a scam. I didn't know what I was doing.
See, talk to me. So you thought it probably was a scam. There are a lot of scams out there.
There are a lot of, it is so easy to stumble across illegitimate scholarships, which is why I try to make it a point to create content that points students in the right direction when it comes to finding legitimate opportunities that they actually have a chance of winning. Because my first scholarship, that I applied to was probably a sweepstakes thing where you put in all this like personal information about you, like your phone number, your email, and you never hear anything from them. They're just like, oh, all you have to do is this. You don't have to write an essay. We don't have to know anything about who you are or anything substantive that is really going to help differentiate you from a pool of applicants, and we're going to do like some type of raffle. And I was just going based off of the websites and the resources that came up on Google really early instead of really knowing how to filter through which opportunities were actually worth my time. So yeah, the first scholarship I applied for was probably a scam. I didn't know what I was doing.
What's the first scholarship you got? And you was like, yes.
I remember that day so vividly. The first scholarship I ever won was the Coca-Cola scholarship.
Coca-Cola, okay.
It's worth $20,000, and it's one of the hardest scholarships for a high school senior to secure because they typically get over 100,000 applications from students across the nation every single year. And from that, they sift through and they choose 150 winners. So the stakes are high. The competition is even higher too.
Okay.
But that was the first one that I won, and I really needed that win because once I got that, I took off. You know? Because before I won my first scholarship, I had definitely applied to at least 35 different scholarships, and I was trying to remain steadfast. I was trying to remain faithful, and thankfully I did because every time I just kept telling myself, no, I'm winning the next scholarship I apply to. I'm winning the next scholarship I apply to. And to be getting rejected back to back and still having this crazy faith that it was going to work out for me.
Yeah.
It was a little wild, I'm not going to lie, but that's what you need because it really is a numbers game, kind of like applying to job applications.
Facts.
You're going to lose more than you win.
Yeah.
But those wins are so significant. So when I won that $20,000, it was up from there.
So let's talk about that because I talk about the Coca-Cola scholarship inside my book as well, or several of them. And there is a science to making sure that your application stands out.
Yeah.
So what do you think helped you stand out on your application? Was it your story? Was you tapping into maybe you're not from America? Like what made you think to stand out amongst the other 100,000 applications out there?
The Coca-Cola scholarship is all about finding those change makers who are actively in their community, showing that they care for their community, they want to elevate it for the better, and they care about the people around them, right? And this is evidenced in multiple places, not just in school, but also outside of school. So it was definitely my well-roundedness that I feel like really differentiated me and allowed me to ultimately become a Coca-Cola scholar. Because when I think about all of the other amazing people who were in my cohort, I won it in 2018. All of us were doing something in our community that really spoke to us. And you could tell the difference between students who are just like volunteering in a soup kitchen or mentoring kids just to have like something to put on their college applications versus people who like really feel empowered and invigorated by the work that they're doing and they care about the impact that they're having in the world.
So good. Listen, man. Gab, you talking good right now. Because what I hear you saying is, I tell my community, find your sauce and be that in your community. That will make you millions. It will help you stand out. One of the top things that colleges look for, so not just scholarship applications, but even universities and colleges, jobs, they look at, okay, what are you doing that's benefiting people? How are you stepping up as a leader?
Exactly.
And what I'm hearing you say is like, hey, I tapped into my thing and I became a leader within my community, within my generation, in the way that I can be. And because of that, you stood out.
Exactly.
Because how many people join this particular organization just so they can say, hey, I'm a part of this. But they're really not making any difference.
Right.
And what I hear you saying at what, 17, you were like, hey, I love this. I'm going to contribute to this in my community. And because of that, Coca-Cola said, hey, we're going to give you $20,000.
Exactly. And it's not just about what you put on paper, too. Like, there are multiple rounds that you have to go through.
Right.
Because I think that a lot of students, they see how tedious scholarship applications can be, and they're like, man, I'm not doing that. It's a waste of time.
They weak.
But really, they're trying to vet you. They want to give you this money, but they're really trying to see, are you about what you're talking about? Are you about what's on your resume? And the only way to get to know that really is through your essays or through a video interview or is by giving you the opportunity to tell your story and what you care about. So don't look at when an application is kind of doing too much as it not being worth your time. See it as you being somebody who's so special and has so much to say that I'm actually going to show up and show out in the different elements of this application so you have no choice but to choose me.
You said it nice. I'm just going to say when people see the application, they weak. They lazy. They don't really want it.
Yeah.
And then you're right. They want to weave out the lazy people who are not strong enough because if you would take your time, this is the spiritual side of me coming out now. If you would take your time to go through this hard process, then that shows them like, hey, if we give you this $20,000, you're going to complete your degree. We're not just going to give you someone $20,000 who wants it easy and they go to college and finds out college is hard and they quit. Now they just wasted their 20 grand.
Exactly.
So what you're showing them is that, hey, I'm gonna go through your process, and every single step of the way, I'm gonna put my best foot forward. And then that represents your brand, it represents your character and your integrity, and because of that, they're like, yo, we gotta look at Gabby. We can't pass up on this. Wait, with Gabby? I'm like, Gabby, wait a minute, Gabby.
Exactly. They want to invest in you. You just gotta show up and show out for yourself.